Hello, everyone. Welcome to a page full of stars. Um, this is weird because this is like the first time in 8 years that I'm intentionally making a video for YouTube that I'm not just ripping from the stream. But we're gonna see how this goes. So basically, I have compiled a few years ago, I compiled a list of every game I've ever played and I put it into my phone in this app. And the app's not that great and it's not really shareable. So now I'm converting all of those games onto this website, Backloggd, BACKLOGGD.com. And I am re-ranking them basically, including all the games that I've currently added or played since then. And yeah, I've streamed it on Twitch a few times, just reviewing games, going through them. I'm going alphabetically, and as of right now, aside from games that I've played like this year that I haven't really gotten to add yet, except Elden Ring, I'm up to the letter F. I'm in the middle of the letter F. So this video is going to start off with some Fire Emblem reviews, and they're really not review like I'm desperately trying to remember what I felt like playing a game and how I felt about it. So a lot of these are just kind of I'm just making it up as I go here based on my memory that doesn't work. Welcome to the video. I'm gonna stop talking. Actually, I'm not gonna stop talking. That's all I'm gonna do. What's the first game up on the list here? Alphabetically. Fire Emblem Fates. Do I remember this game? Apparently I played Birthright. I thought I played the other one, but I wrote it down in here that I played Birthright. Doesn't really matter. Either way, it's a Fire Emblem game on the 3DS. It came out after Awakening. I also played Awakening. Awakening was my first Fire Emblem, and then I played this, and I was like, so it's the same game. That's all I remember thinking about it, to be honest. So that's what my review is going to state. What am I going to give? I need to think first what I'm going to be giving Fire Emblem Awakening, because that's going to determine what I give this. And the only other Fire Emblem game I've played is Three Houses. So I'm pretty new to the franchise. I know I didn't play two that a lot of people say are the best. The GameCube and the Wii one. Radiant Dawn, Path of Radiance, is that what they are? I don't know. Something like that. The Ike one. Are they both Ike? I don't know. See, this is all I don't know anything about Fire Emblem, but I pretend to because I've played 3 games. So I'm kind of trying to decide in my head right now. So what I end up doing a lot of the times is going back through this and looking at what I gave things so that I have a point of reference for what I'm going to give whatever I'm currently thinking about. Because then I can kind of compare them. Sometimes I'll go back in here and then end up changing a review I already did. I feel like the Fire Emblem Fates situation is similar to Dragon Quest XI in that I'm like, oh, it is pretty good, but like I just personally, it's just not doing anything for me. And it was too similar to Awakening just a couple years later. And I didn't like love Awakening. I wasn't like, this is perfect. There's nothing that needs to be changed. So a game that feels pretty similar, and again, I can't remember anything. I literally cannot remember a single thing that is different in that game. I'm sure there is plenty. But the fact that I can't remember it is what is guiding my opinion right now. This is how these go, all right? Don't judge me too harshly. I'm just trying to make a list. All right, yeah, I'm gonna put Fire Emblem Fates at 2.5 stars. So these are out of 5, by the way. We're gonna go 2.5 stars. All right, I wrote, after playing Awakening, this just felt like more of the same. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not very interesting either. Fire Emblem is pretty good. I don't think I finished it, so I marked it down as abandoned. I might have, but I don't remember finishing it. Next, listen, these are extremely fast reviews, okay? I'm not putting too much thought into it. I can't. I have freaking over 700 games to go through. Fire Emblem Awakening. Now, this definitely better. Am I going to give it a 3.5? What else is at 3.5? Dying Light, Brutal, Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, I don't think it's anything super special. I think I'm going to give 3.5 to both Awakening and Three Houses. I think they are pretty good games. Definitely not as good as a lot of other things in the same genre or adjacent genres. For instance, Fire Emblem Three Houses goes in the direction of Persona a little bit, but it's just not as good as Persona in pretty much any way. In terms of the tactical combat, like it is pretty good. It doesn't necessarily stand out though. Although I don't play a ton of tactical games, but I would say that something like XCOM is better in some ways. I don't know. It's not exactly my favorite genre, but I do appreciate it. Alright, I wrote this was my first game in the series and it got me very interested in playing more. It's a solid game, but it doesn't do a lot to stand out as one of the best. Combat is fun and engaging for what it is, but it's also held back in a lot of ways by the 3DS hardware. I did beat it. I definitely remember that. And that's it. Moving on. Fire Emblem Three Houses. I was considering that I maybe like this one the best of the three of them. I think I would say that. But that also doesn't allow me to put it at a higher rating because I don't think it's on par with Cuphead, Call of Duty 4, BioShock. Like, it's not in that territory for me. So it's still going to be sitting at a 3.5, even though I do think it is the better game. Some of that has to do with the hardware that it's on. It is definitely a huge improvement over the DS and the 3DS in terms of what games look and feel like on them. It's a little rough, especially at the point of the 3DS, because it's not much of an improvement over the DS, so whatever. I just have a problem with the 3DS. Anyways, what do I write here? Alright, I ended up writing a little bit more than I intended here. Let me start off by saying I do think that this is the best Fire Emblem game that I've played. That still only puts it at a 3.5 out of 5 for me, though. It's just not that outstanding of a series. I honestly think that it's held back quite a bit by Nintendo's hardware. This is a game that would greatly benefit by looking as beautiful as, say, Persona or the mainline Final Fantasy games. Just look at freaking Final Fantasy 16. Woo! Woo! The production values are just not there, and it's distracting. Speaking of Persona, they definitely tried to push the series even more in that direction with this game, and it did nothing for me. All that really did was draw a closer comparison to it, which ends up being a detractor, in my opinion. The combat system is much more intricate and fun in this entry, but the emphasis on characters really puts a damper on the game. It's just really not well written or acted outside of a very few characters like Edelgard. I don't even remember anybody else's name. I would say I'm looking forward to the next entry, which is Fire Emblem Engage, which was just announced at the time of me doing this review here. But I can already see they're pushing even more in the anime direction, and that terrifies me. That main character looks absurd with his half blue, half red hair, and just everything. He looks like a clown. I don't know what they're going for. Anyways, those are my 3 Fire Emblem reviews. It just kind of coincidentally worked out that I could do 3 reviews in a video, and they all be the same game. So I don't know how long this video was, how long I cut it down to. Technically, it took me, I'm just going to show you a peek behind the curtain here. It took me 17 minutes right now for this video, but I probably cut it down to much shorter than that, hopefully. So, yeah, I might try this format out for doing this instead of doing it on stream, because as you can see, especially when I'm trying to talk to people, also, I'm just constantly distracted, and I can't actually do this stuff, which I want to log all this stuff. So I think it might be better for me to do it on YouTube. Feel free to comment on here or tell me on Discord with what you think. Feel free to check the description. I'll post my Twitch link there, and you can come and hang out while I play more games so that I can add them to the list. Thank you to my patrons. I almost said goodbye. Thank you to my patrons, Kinna, Hookie, Eddie, Echo, Scion, and Mex for being awesome. I guess I'll also link the Patreon. I'm going to change things up there, though. Don't read anything on there yet, because I got to change it. It's all inaccurate. Whatever. I'm out of here. I'm gonna do some more of these. See ya.